Time for the winner bracket final. We are again going to Battlefield of Eternity. I told you it's the map of the day, and we have the Bratwurst boys against the Raiders. Which means that given the ranking that we currently have, this is the number 1 against the number 2, and we already get that fight in the winner bracket final. Now, we're not quite at the end of the tournament just yet, so this is obviously still a bit farther away, but the winner of this series is going to move on to the grand final of qualifier number 5 here at the Banshee Cup. The loser drops down into the lower bracket and will have to go for that loser's bracket run. Should be a pretty cool series here. Again, this is the 5th qualifier. Qualifier number 6 will be the last one, and then afterwards we're moving into the playoffs, where the teams are going to fight for the prize money of $2,500. Big shout out again to Kevin, to Psychiv, for making this tournament a reality. He's the one that has sponsored the offline events that we had in Miami and also in Berlin. So, yep, he is an absolute passionate Heroes of the Storm fan and a huge fanboy of Sylvanas, and is helping to keep the scene here alive. So, yeah, big shout outs and a big thank you to him. Maiev banned, and we have also Nano's Chromie banned out, so he's at least not going to get her in game number 1. It should be a pretty entertaining one. I mean, the blue team is still the favorite. You just have to look over at the names, and if you know anything about Heroes of the Storm in the last couple of years, then you know that this is basically a who's who of some of the best players that we currently have. So Cure is subbing in for them, by the way, so he's still playing cross-server from NA. Masquerade is not here today, and that's why they're playing with Cure. And funnily enough, Cure has been playing in the previous game's main tank, which is kind of amusing to me because it's not really a role that I associate with him. But of course, he is able to fill in here to an extent. But you expect him to be on those impactful damage dealers, and especially on the ones, you know, that have a high level of mobility. But in this case, he's just lumbering around on the battlefield as a main tank. They are targeting Nano specifically with those bans, as you can see. So Hanzo and Chromie have both been banned out. And now, in addition to that, we're getting Blaze as a first pick. Over on the left side for the blue team, the first 2 for BOE. I mean, again, with Li Ming being banned, you can still go for, well, you can go Vala, you can go Lunara. There's actually a lot of heroes already out with just bans that we normally would take here. Sylvanas, yes, good point, she's also still up. But Chromie gone, she's being used for poke. Li Ming, same story. Hanzo. So you can still go Greymane, you can go Vala, you can go Lunara, just to name a few examples. But I'm kind of curious what they're going to do here now. Pretty heavily with this. Currently we have on the right side still our quick double pick from them. Anduin and Genji. So we have a light bomb engage. They are actually going for light bomb engage here in this one. And, well, let's see what they can pull off for that. Because for backline damage, this is exactly what you want. You put a light bomb on, Genji Swift strikes in, you stun out Sylvanas, you stun out Lucio, somebody has to follow up with damage, and then Bob's your uncle. There's your kills right there. So if they can pull that off properly, then good for them. But that's already the combo out, even with game number 1. So, yeah. So, what are we getting? Anubarak is very quickly getting banned, so they're a little bit worried about like the stun into stun combos, and then also what you can do with Light Bomb as a potential follow-up here. Another dive hero that gets eliminated. I guess technically if you really wanted to go for something similar, you could still think of Varian. That's more a hero that I could also see for the Bratwurst. Well, I could have seen it for the Bratwurst boys, but given Lucio, it's highly unlikely here. It's something that Cure, though, played. And again, Cure is not really... Normally, he plays the side laner for the Bratwurst boys, but he subs in for them. He's been playing a lot of Zeratul, too, which is actually even more difficult for him because of the ping difference that you have between the servers. But again, he's been handling it quite well, and most of the time he finds himself in the side laner position. But now playing as a main tank is definitely a role that he's not that comfortable with and hasn't played that often, so they are trying to target him a bit and target some of the tanks that they know he plays. He's been playing Varian in one of the games, he's been playing Johanna, Muradin. These are the easier ones to get out there, so definitely he has options. But in this case, we're getting him with Diablo. So yeah, filling in for Masquerade definitely forces a role swap that he is not all that used to. But yeah, Hazu obviously on the side lane, not really a problem for him. He can always switch away in a different one. Cure's been playing tons of the Haka, for example, for the team here. whenever he's subbed in. We get Tychus, haven't seen him in a while, and we have Garrosh. So Garrosh into a Blaze stun if it's lined up properly. And on top of that we get Ultralisk now as the final pick again. Battlefield of Eternity is kicking us off, and it is going to be the first game in the best of 3 series. Only draft rule is you can only play hero once. After hero has been played one time, he can't be played again in the same series. Makes things a little different. And we get Imperius. More stuns, more party. Battlefield of Eternity, map number 1. Game number 1, and the Bratwurst boys are on the left. We have Hazops on Urel, Death Knight on Lucio, Cure on Dibbles, Dino on Sylvanas, and Ultralisk on Imperius. To the right side of the map, the Raiders with Sven on Blaze, Hunter Orc on Anduin, Krankle on Garrosh, Gavlo on Tychus. Yeah, we don't get to see a lot of Tychus these days. The Renegade is a little bit out of fashion. And we have Nano played by Genji. Also, as usual, bit of a shout out to Cure here. Again, there's not a lot of North American players that would be willing to play cross-server. We've seen a lot of the Europeans doing it in the past, but when it comes to NA players, there's just a handful, and Cure is probably the most noteworthy here, and also the one that does it the most. He's been subbing in regularly over the last couple of years for several European teams. And it's always nice to see him make the effort to just play cross-server and shoot shit with the boys a bit. So yeah, awesome. Bit different again, seeing him as a main tank, but he's been doing work, and let's see what he can do with Diablo. That's at least the first, I believe. You've seen him on the heroes that are highlighted during the draft, but let's see what he can now do now. Well, the first thing that happens is he gets caught and killed. So, not a good start. The first thing is he pulls a Lauber. Dies before the 1 minute mark, so a bit of a sad one. Yeah, kind of unfortunate. Again, it's a very different role for him, of course, but in this case he also got a bit unlucky. Garrosh gets the hit, and that's that. I guess it answered the question, what he can do with Diablo. He can die. Oh boy. So yeah, the North American Lauber, at least when he plays tank, is back. And we're going for the camps now. We have on level 1 the Overwhelming Affliction for the Banshee Queen. And even the side laners are starting to join the fun here, so everybody is coming down to the party. Urel brings some music as well, and well, one flip is there. Cure needs to try and get out once again. They're all locked down though. Oh boy, this is going to be bad for the red team. Anduin is trying to save the day, but they are going to have a rude awakening if they're not running away from this quickly. Yep, there's one kill. Genji at least able to take down Diablo, so makes it a kill for a kill. Sylvanas goes deep, and they take Krankle down. They had a chance to drop Nano too. It got real close there. So not only is it a 2-for-1 trade in favor of the blue team, but they are also able to steal the camp away. So good news all around for them. Making some real nice moves, and that helped a lot. I mean, that was pretty essential. Being able to pull that off was huge, honestly. Because that already sets them up for a bit of a win here. And yeah. We'll see what else they can do. Down at the bottom of the map, we have, in the meantime, just like the last few remnants, getting destroyed. Obviously, it's time for the objective to be announced. So everybody is starting to focus a bit more onto their Shaman camp to get some more aggression going. That's going to be the next big one that they're trying to make here. And yeah, in the meantime, you're seeing the same play being made over on the right side of the map. It's party time! Objective number 1. Everybody has level 4 talents. Everybody is starting to make their moves for the first Immortal. And teams are getting ready for all the action in the big team fight here. Trying to set up a few traps too. And we'll see if they can win the first one. So, it is on. It is on like Lordaeron. Let's go, team. Let's make it happen. Big attack against Sven. They're trying to go for Blaze, but instead it is Lucio that gets murdered. Lucio is gone, no chance for him. That's a support already out of the picture, so no more sustain for them, and even Urel over on the right side has to retreat here. Hazo is going to be fine, but with Lucio getting killed this early in the team fight, it means immediately that the red team has a bit of a leg up when it comes to immortal damage, and that's exactly what they're doing here. Now, thankfully for the Bratwurst boys, the death timers are low, so Lucio is already back. Cure is getting some wall stuns in. And yep, there comes the move against Ultralisk as he's moving away. With that triple frontline, they have a lot of stuns here too. Ultralisk is actually gonna die here. Yeah, gets flipped in. Crankle doesn't even react to it anymore and it's just like, yeah, whatever. So they're losing him as well. Bigger they are on Tigers as level 4, by the way. Given the fact that we have 3 frontliners, he could have technically also gone into In the Rhythm if they wanted to go full auto attack style. But they're trying to just burn Diablo down. Again, applying some pressure on Q in particular might be something that they can utilize here. Dino low, and he gets out. Big stuns and moves from Hazu. He's shutting that down nicely and even has time to drop a spray on them. They are still very likely to get the objective though. They have Genji already on it. Level 7 is available now on the side of the Raiders. And the Bratwurst boys, they're trying to bring it back here. Cure starting to move out. Genji has him though and kills him. Genji gets the kill. And this is gonna get a lot more tricky now for the Bratwurst boys, because all of a sudden they're struggling a bit, at least with the first objective. Ultralisk gets attacked, they're already playing a 5 versus 4. And now it's a 5 versus... Oh, no, wait. Is he getting out? Nah, the jet propulsion sealed it. Jet propulsion sealed it, so now it's a 5 versus 3. Well, I guess it's technically still a 5 versus 4 because Diablo just came back and is gonna make his move back into the fight. But they are still fighting for this. This one is still kind of close. Could still be claimed by either team as now Sylvanas is coming in. I guess they're winning it. The blue team actually takes it. Yes, they got it with 1,000 points on the shield. They lock it in. Clutch. Very clutch, but they pull it off. 6 kills to 2 though in favor of the Raiders. That's a huge kill advantage currently for the red team. So they are way ahead with this. That will make this super interesting as the game continues, because if that trend continues, they are going to be in trouble as the death timers increase. But again, the attacks are coming now. We have them brush through the gates, trying to annihilate that quickly, and they can. Thankfully, they have Sylvana, so every single push that they can set up with an Immortal is going to be enhanced by her. But Dino is also going to be made a prime target because of it, and Nano is just murdering them with Genji. Nano is just crushing it. He's getting so many kills here, it's starting to become a bit ridiculous. He's sitting at 14,000 damage, that's nothing when you compare it to Tychus, who's been using the bigger they are to just chunk him down. But he is doing exceptionally well when we're talking about just picking the kills up. Diving in deep, get the kill, put the pressure on key heroes like Sylvanas in this case. So, nearly level 10. And the Bratwurst boys are a little bit in trouble. I mean, not too much, again. Now they have to fall back here. Ultralisk in particular is just insanely low. Even Odin is getting popped. Gavlo, just absolutely no qualms about it. He goes immediately for Odin. It's going to be fine too, because the blue team needs some time in order to get their own level 10. So they try to get an additional kill with it. Hazu is jumping out. Everybody's just like running away, trying to get out of here. But with Odin, they can break through the wall a bit further. Just generally speaking, really nice control from the Raiders now. That level 10 ability allows them to just dominate this top lane. And Sylvanas has already attempted to pick up some extra experience at the bottom of the map with Urel. They are rotating back in, and Genji's immediately on the case. Immediately on Dino, and comes in, wants the kill, X-Strike, and bye-bye. Nano is wrecking them, absolutely wrecking them. Ultralisk at the top is now also about to fall if he has a grenade, and he doesn't, so Ultralisk, just perfect timing. IQ 200 play. I mean, all you need is one more hit point than 0, right? That's all that you need at the end of the day. So he plays it close to home, but Nano is just murdering them, and he wants Sylvanas. Now Sylvanas is gonna have Wailing Arrow here, I would assume. I mean, you could go into Wailing Arrow. So with that, Genji has to be a little more careful. If that gets unleashed at the right moment in time, he might actually fall. But thus far, it has been the Nano show. He has been crushing Sylvanas every single step of the way. Made it nearly impossible for her to properly participate in these fights. Nice move, even with the silence. They can't get the kill though, so using a lot of ults for this, but they are not able to get a kill. Ultralisk again cutting it close here, but he is, as usual, able to get out of the fight. So huge exchange in cooldowns. But one of the best tools that they have to get a kill has now been eliminated. No more Wailing Arrow. Diablo gets flipped. 1 stun, 2 stun. Wow, they're really going for Q, aren't they? That light bomb stun, and now it is Genji once again. Nano again is murdering them. He's absolutely killing them. Uriel was at the top in the meantime, trying to ensure that the fort doesn't fall, but that's now a lead on the objective. They're trying to play a defensive game. Genji's up at the front again, might have to come to get out here. Nice, they summon into the wall, but Anduin is even denying them that opportunity. Really annoying if you're the blue team now. They are hoping that they kill over here. Just speeding things up. Ultralisk wants the stun, and they get Diablo to pull it off for them. So Blaze goes down, and finally a little bit of momentum from the boys in blue. I mean, it was about time. So they are able to at least get themselves a kill, but it doesn't change the fact that they're still suffering, and level 13 is super close for their opponents. The Raiders have that in a moment. And then that talent advantage might help them to go for the next Immortal. And Gavlo is just doing these things where he just escorts a couple of minions into the fort and then wants to take it out there. So Gavlo is getting really annoying for them. And he's getting damage in. He's at 40,000 damage. Light Bomb again for another stun, but they're trying to burn Krankle to a crisp. And they are able to pull it off. Krankle goes down. That's Garrosh gone. As Nano is still chipping away at the hit points on the Immortal. But the kill that gets stunned. Mid-jump. Tries to jump over that and can't. So yeah, Nano is zipping away. They're getting very close also in experience to catch up on level 13. Sylvanas is now doing some damage here. So they are getting their tools together. The only hero that hasn't fallen yet on the blue team side is, by the way, Uriel. She's the only one here. So once again, they're coming straight in. Gavlo, Sylvanas, yeah, disabled the fort. They really want this. And they have level 13. So that gives us, for Sylvanas, Remorseless. And the build for Diablo also continues, still speccing all of this into Firestomp here. And now that we have villains chosen, it's time to go for the next team fight. Ultralisk is dropping low immediately, has to be helped a bit by Lucio. Halftime show, a clear victory for the Raiders. And Hazo doesn't have an ult right now. 10 more seconds, but is able to get out. Might run into Nano again. Nano actually wants this kill, don't he? Yeah, but he is not getting it. So, yeah, they're trying to go for the race. Essentially, the blue team has realized that they're losing the Immortal. So all that they're doing now is stop the bleeding a little bit, reduce the shield, and just make sure that it's not too much of a problem. If they can get a kill here, that would be nice. But again, he's getting fully stunned. Fully stunned, gets at least good damage out with his Lightning Breath, but it's not going to be enough to get them a counter kill. And that's the big problem. So a bit too aggressive from Cure here. And now Nano's getting attacked too. Ultral is getting attacked too. So is Sylvanas, and that is the end. Nano is just on a tear here. Kill after kill after kill. He gets 1, he gets 2, they're going for Hazu, and they are just farming the Bratwurst boys. They're absolutely farming them. 13-4. It's a total sausage fest on the side of the blue team. But seems like they're going to lose much more than only the topside fort, because that's a 2-level advantage now for the red team. And they're coming into the top side for a push on the keep. And very likely they're going to get this one. 53,000 damage now for Tychus. Easy top damage. And then on top of that, you're now looking at Genji. And he obviously has been having an insane amount of fun. There's a light bomb engage from him. X-Strike on Lucio. Lucio is gone. And they're getting wiped. They're getting absolutely wiped here. Finally another counter kill, but this is only kill number 5. So if they want to bring this back, this is, I guess, the moment. They have to stop Nano at some point, though. And Nano is finally dying. That's a round of applause right there. They were able to kill Nano, but they lost their keep. Guys, we're 13 minutes in and they just lost the keep. That's where we're at. So they have one single structure remaining, and that's the keep at the bottom of the map. They nearly took damage on their core. They finally killed Genji. But what are they going to do with that now? Close the gap in experience a little bit. Get themselves level 16. Can't even get the camp at the bot lane because it was already stolen. So where do you go from here? You get level 16 talents. That's the first step. But then you still have to win these team fights. And good luck with that. Now, Sylvanas has gone into the Evasive Fire here as a next talent. Firestorm build is now completed. We're also getting Templar's Verdict. And the party is on. They need to somehow control Nano, but there's the taunt and the ult. The final moment. Hazu surviving just a little bit longer. Trying to deal with Genji. That's what Sylvanas is currently doing. We'll still have to move out here, but at least this time nobody died. There is a flank coming though. Sven wants the stun, gets it. Only against Diablo though. Didn't hit anybody else. Ultralisk already half back home. And they're gonna be Gucci. At least for now. But the game is still not looking good for them. Topside, catapults are now accumulating and pushing straight for the core. We're only 14 minutes in. It's unlikely that they're gonna go do too much damage there. But you need a teamfight victory. It's the only way to get back into the game. Just winning the Immortal is not even enough. You need to get kills. You need them quickly. Ultralisk is again low immediately as the fight starts. And with them losing hit points on some key heroes this early in the fight, they're just losing too much ground. Again, another kill. Bye-bye. And Nano is just murdering them one at a time. It's crazy. The entire team is obviously making such a great effort here to take the Bratwurst boys down, but Nano seems to be always the final one to go in and solidify the kill. That's 3 more heroes eliminated. The objective is at this point theirs. We had 25 kills in total and 18 of those have been taken by the red team. The Raiders are absolutely destroying their opponents here. They are crushing them. And with a run-up. So that is 100% shield on the Immortal, and in case that you don't speak Heroes of the Storm, that translates into your bottom keep is dead. That bottom keep is gonna get destroyed now. Unless they win the team fight right here, right now, that bottom keep is gone. Diablo is dead again. Yeah, Lord of Terror my ass. A weak kitten is more like it. It's not so terrifying over here. Cute and cuddly is what I'm seeing. And, well, this is the Immortal. Immortal is gone, at least they get a kill. At least they get a kill. I just don't think it's enough. That seems like too little too late. If they can get another one though, maybe? Yeah, they take down Anduin. Okay, so Anduin is dead too. That's a 4 versus 3. Maybe there's a chance to defend this. Sylvanas has to deal with the catapults. Dealing with the minion wave. I mean, it's nice for experience. But that's not the real threatening part. They still want that keep at the bottom of the map. Now that there are only 3 heroes, I think they can defend the keep. The keep should be fine. But yeah, these moves are just so late. 100% shield. Just imagine what would have happened here if the Raiders didn't lose 2 heroes. So the blue team, I mean, they are doing what they can, right? They are just trying their best to somehow stay in the game. But there's half a level until 20. Now with the Soak at the top lane, we nearly have those level 20 Storm Talents for the Raiders. So some brutal games being made here as the attacks just keep coming. And that's the Immortal gone. The keep is at 50% HP. Nano is jumping towards the top now. And level 20 is about to kick in at this point for their opponents. And that is just such a nuisance. The best thing that the Bratwurst boys can do is just sit in the base until at least either the objective is announced or they have level 20. One of the two. And I think the objective is going to announce it a little bit sooner than that. Tiger's damage is getting absurd, by the way. 85,000. And yeah, they're going with level 20 and with the big red button immediately for the keep. They want to go for a checkmate move. Once that keep is gone and you have catapult pressure on every single lane, it is pretty much over. The only way for the Bratwurst boys to win this is for the Raiders to either disconnect or throw the game. If they are now inting hard, then they can still lose this. But if they just play it cool, calm, collected, slow, catapults will eventually win the game for them. All they gotta do is play it slow. Again, they still have both their forts. Both forts are still in play, which means endless catapults. They take the camps too. Blue team is pinned down. They might be able again to get to 20, but still, it is rough. So, right now, 19 kills, 2-9. They're gonna get their Storm Talents, and then it's one final Hail Mary that they can throw in order to maybe turn this here. Taking the catapult out would be important. Again, this is all experience. This is all XP that you're seeing here. Grab it quickly. and take your 20. So this is the chance. This is the chance to bring it back. This decisive fight and crush him. It can't go for a long and drawn-out battle. And the red team knows this. The red team knows that they have all the time in the world. They have a camp pushing at the bottom of the map. They have a camp pushing at the top. They have catapults pushing on all of them. So they're just retreating. They're just retreating to their fort. That's all they gotta do right now. Sylvanas comes in. A poke, or at least a Hellgate thingy. And can they get a kill? Fort is down. The core is under attack. And they need kills. They might get them. No! Anduin is shutting them down. Anduin says, not happening, and they can't get anything. So instead, they have to now send somebody back to deal with all that pressure on their core, and they still have to go for the objective. They were looking for the fight. They didn't properly get it. Oh, yeah, it's tough. They're not giving up. They still think they can take this, but the halftime show's over. And you are running out of time. Catapults at the top, and it is dicey. So, here's another chance to go for the fight. They go for Crankle, they want him, they find him, can they get him? Anduin can go for the save, and doesn't even have to. They're totally fine. It's not happening. It's just not happening. I don't see it. Catapults now on the core any second through the top lane. Bot lane the same picture. Cure makes another engage. They go for Crankle and Anduin just shuts it down. He's shutting it down with one trait after another. Cure is about to fall. The core is about to lose its shield. It is just a disaster. I mean, the Raiders really crushing it here. And then they lose Garrosh. Maybe now? Maybe? Can they get another kill? That's a 5 versus 4 at least. They're trying to go for Anduin. They can't quite get him. Nano zips out. So far, they're still holding. Dino! Oh, if the jet propulsion connects, it's over. But they lose Sylvanas regardless. Then again, they get 2 heroes killed. Urel is back to save the core. So they're actually not out of this yet. Seriously. I'm telling you, they're fighting tooth and nail here. They're not giving up. These guys are pissed. Can they get the Immortal? The death timers are high, so you can actually do a lot with this now. They will get the Immortal. The question, at least they should be able to get it. The question is just simply, yeah, if you get another kill right now, then of course that would be a disaster. Question is just what can they get with the Immortal? They're going to get the fort that relieves some pressure if they turn this around. Can you imagine? Can you imagine what a comeback that would be? But Garrosh is already back in only 2 more seconds. 16, 18 for Tychus and Genji. And they have the Immortal down to 50% HP and that's it. That's not enough. They're missing Sylvanas. They're simply missing Sylvanas. Sylvanas is not there. That's the problem. Double catapults. We're 22 minutes in. If those catapults make it on the core, it's just over. Now it's a 5 versus 5 again. Catapults are easily being taken out. Yep, they take them, at least most of them. And now they gotta fight it again. They gotta fight it again and they have to rely on the minions to take these 2 catapults out or the core is taking damage. And I think it's gonna take at least some damage. Not a lot. Next minion wave spawns and takes it on. They have to win that fight too. They have to win every single fight from here on out. They cannot lose a single one. They want the attack again. There's the damage with the barbecue. Lightning breath, baby. He's trying to get it. Nice, nice. Tychus, they go for Tychus. And he's still safe. Yep. Genji moving back in. They're keeping Sylvanas alive too. And the Immortal is low. The Immortal is really low. So they're going to get the Immortal. That's at least something. Immortal is claimed. They dodge Sven's jet propulsion. That was big. And there's the stun. And they get the kill. You gotta be shitting me. You have to be kidding. Really? If Genji doesn't get kills here, Genji just with a cooldown reduction. He wants Cure. Cure is fully stacked, by the way. Again, the catapults at the bottom of the map. Moving in once more. They're gonna ignore them, maybe even take some damage, and now they're going for it. This is insane! No, the fort will fall. The fort falls 100%. They didn't even have to send Ultralisk back here, I guess. He could have just accepted some damage. But yeah, so he's moving over. They got Sylvanas. Keep Sylvanas in mind. It is definitely possible to take the keep out. That still doesn't win them the game. But it's a big step if they can take this, because it would relieve so much pressure from the bot lane. But here comes the attack. Sylvanas is doing what she can. Light bomb, cure, and he gets cured of all of his hit points. But they take Crankle. They get the counter kill. And Nano doesn't get the kills anymore. You are kidding me. The bottom fort is about to fall. Garrosh is gone. Diablo's on his way. He lost the soul stacks, but he is coming back in. The core is going to take some damage, but can they take it? Can they take the entire thing? This is insane. The Bratwurst boys. Oh, you're shitting me. They're winning it. It's game. They took it. What a comeback. They're 8 kills behind. Ridiculous. The Bratwurst boys with a W. Holy shit. Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV. Well, I don't know what just happened there. This should not have been possible. The Bratwurst boys somehow turning the game around is ridiculous. It's crazy. They did have nothing. Nothing. 2 forts destroyed. Sorry, 2 keeps destroyed. Everything destroyed. Only the core standing. They haven't taken down a fort at the time. And there's catapults pushing on every single lane. And the Raiders still lost the game. It's crazy. The core didn't even really take damage. It's absolutely bonkers. Now, obviously, part of that is because of Sylvanas. She is just so powerful. Whenever you get an objective in the late game and you can start going through structures, she will allow you to get so much further. But can you imagine how pissed the Raiders are? Do you have any idea how angry these people must be right now? It's incredible. Absolutely incredible. I mean, well played too, obviously. It takes a lot just mentally to stay in a spot where you're saying like, hey, we can still do this. We can come back into the game. And they pulled it off. So big shout out to them. Well done. Now we have Sergeant Hammer banned out. Maiev got the boot too. Oh, and we are starting to kick things off here. Looking to see if there is a 2-0 victory in the cards for the Bratwurst boys, or if the Raiders are now so mad that they're saying, okay, no matter what happens here, we're gonna take them down. That swing won't miss. But yeah. Tracer gets banned. And that's, again... Actually, for a second I was about to say like that's targeting Gavlo, but no, that's a different side. So they are banning out Sergeant Hammer and Towers of Doom. They're also banning out Chromie, which means that Vikings are still up. You could go into a Viking game if you wanted to, and I would not put it past Hazu, but still, just as a bit of a side note, Sven starts things off immediately with Dehaka. So they have a global, and again, Dehaka has always been amazing on this map. Dehaka is honestly amazing on most maps. But, yeah. There's Abathar and there is Samuro. Oh my god, the cancer. Oh! It's already disgusting. It's already disgusting as hell. Abathar Samuro is just like, this is one of those drafts when you're on the other team, you're just like, why me? Can I just leave? Can we go next? Do I have to play this? This is a perfect example from what I talked about earlier. There's just combos that you go up against. Even if you win the game, you feel you've lost. You've at least lost years of your life. And that's usually what happens when you're going up against an Abathar Samuro duo that knows what it's doing. And Hazu is a great Abathar, and Samuro, played by Ultralisk, well, we've seen that a few times. Not too bad either. Johanna and Deckard Cain, the choices for the Raiders, but boy oh boy, this could get wild, and it could get wild very, very quickly. Now, as is, we got Cassia banned out. And what do you get rid of when you're playing against the blue team here? Which hero that you're looking at is something that you're saying like, no, are they banning against Cure again? Now, Cure could still play Muradin, he could still play Varian. Both of them, by the way, working also quite nicely with Abathar. Depends a little bit on what you're actually looking for. But those are definitely 2 options that Cure could easily play, and most likely he will choose one of them. That leaves them with Varian. So they could go Varian for now. And let's see if that's the choice. Blue team, what are they going for? What is Dino playing? I mean, that's my next question. I want to know what Cure's picking and also what Dino's gonna go for range damage in this case. So, Uther and Hanzo. That leaves Cure as the final pick. Yeah. And Nano and Gavlo still have to choose. They are the 2 damage dealers for the Raiders. And also 2 that might be in some... I mean, picking Hanzo away from the Raiders is also not really a bad move. I'm, if anything, surprised that Nano has not picked it earlier. So he can always play a mage. But, yeah. Leaves us with Oriel and Vala. Double support Vala. If Cure now picks another support, it would mean that we have Uther main tank plus a second healer. That would be kind of funny as well. I mean, we're not getting it. It would be a bit wild with Abathar and Samura in the same team. That would be quite the comp. But I kind of like that the Raiders have now gone into a double support Vala because it just said, okay, we got to carry this one hard. Nano is going to go for the whip. And, well, final pick. Stitches! Good point! Yeah, YOLOing out a couple of hooks here. Game number 2, everybody. We're gonna get the Bratwurst boys again against the Raiders, so let's jump straight into Towers of Doom. Prepare yourselves for battle. Well, I'm preparing myself for some Samuro Abathar cheesy structure approaches. Hazob's on Abathar now. We got Dino on Hanzo. We have Death Knight playing Uther. Cure on Stitches and Ultralisk on Samuro. Over on the right side of the map, it is the Raiders though, with Gavlo on Vala going into an auto attack style, absolutely fitting with the double support that he has behind him. Hunter Orc on Deckard Cain, Krankle on Janna, Sven on Dehaka, and Nano is playing Oriel. Now, this is of course the moment where you have to be a little bit careful on how you play this. You don't want to go and engage into these weird fights where you just allow Vala to stack. And Vala is actually going to be able to stack no matter what if she is able to play against Samuro a little bit, because those copies also give stacks. So it's not really a bad move to do that. It's more so a question of whether or not they can keep her alive and keep those auto attack stacks. Because right now, as long as there's copies around, Vala is going to get stacks in, and she's already sitting at 26, which is pretty sweet too. So, down at the bottom of the map, we got Sven now doing his thing and actually tunneling in to help out at the top lane, going up in this one-on-one against Ultralisk, whereas everybody else is now rotating with the 4-man between the mid and the bot lane. So, time will tell how much Gavlo can do here, but he's going to be the main threat, of course, for the team. Stun into a hook. Yeah, nobody can miss that. Teed it up nicely. But they are just losing the wall. That's essentially what happens. The problem when you have Abathar, as usual, is that the early game can be a bit disastrous for you, and that's exactly what the Raiders are trying to exploit here. They're being as aggressive as they possibly can be, and they're just pushing, trying to exploit the fact that Abathar is having a tough time supporting the team right now. So we are getting Hanzo destroyed, the wall is gone, and they are just continuing the pressure play with every minion wave that they're getting. And while they're doing this, Vala is getting stacks. She's sitting at 48 already. We are not even 2 minutes in. That's the first quest reward that she is nearly getting, and that's fantastic for her. It's absolutely fantastic right there. So all the way up at the top, Ultralisk, he is going to, of course, be... he's going to become an absolute pain in the butt as the game continues. Ultralisk as Samuro with Abathar and then all the copies that they can spawn together is going to be so annoying. They can always snipe structures, and we've seen that in the days of HGC used on Sky Temple, for example, where Aethera Angel has been playing that, inspired by Monkey. So yeah, there is so much potential there in the late game to just cheese structures. You have so much damage output, it's kind of crazy. And that's something that the Raiders would like to avoid. So they're actually doing tons of damage right now. Nice helping hand there for Cure. But we get good stacks for Vala, and this is a bit of a concern. At level 10, there's a big power spike then for Abathar, obviously, as he gets his copy. But right now, it's going to be more than a bit difficult to stop this 4-man. There's so much sustain here, and you can already see how with Uther falling, Gavlo is just not stopping. And he is just murdering them. Now, we've seen, obviously, a lot of dominant plays earlier from the Raiders, and then we all know how game number 1 ended. But still, shots are being exchanged. Abathar is sneaking it in also at the top left. Gets another one for the team, but they're about to lose the bell tower here, and they're also about to lose Dino, who barely makes it out. 85 stacks now for Vala. And she gets killed by Abathar. Gavlo, for crying out loud. Why? Dude, you still have Gambit stacks. Nice move by Hazo. They got Kane is down too. Now they get a bit too greedy. Now I can totally understand what they're trying. Jesus, Dino, calm down. Hanzo's Oriel. Alright, that's 3 kills, and the Vala kill was not needed. They needed the heal right there, but then the Needle Spine makes it through, and that's Vala losing a Gambit stack. Now again, she is still doing a great job stacking. 85 stacks right now is awesome. And they've done damage against the bottom bell tower, so this is huge. But losing 3 heroes then because you've overdone it a little bit and you went too deep. Yeah, maybe not the best play if your goal is to bring it to game number 3. Not gonna be easy. But again, we'll see what else they can do now. For the time being, we have Dino active in the middle. Those 3 kills obviously were a huge relief, because all that you're trying to do here is stop your opponent from snowballing you into oblivion, and that's essentially what happened. I mean, this is really kind of what happened. If you're looking at the experience count here, that hero experience that they just got through those 3, those 1,800s to their name, that saved their day. They are now on even experience with the other team, and that wouldn't be the case if not for these 3 kills. So this was big. This is really, really big and so crucial. The Gambit stack on Vala, that one of them was removed, that's an added advantage, but yes, that was a big one. So, Abathar now trying to repair the bell tower. Cure in trouble and likely gonna die. Yeah, he goes down, but they might get Crankle, and they do. Crankle is down as well. So they are still doing the best they can in order to stop that huge pressure play. And they are keeping the bell tower, which is the important part. Vala sitting at 110 is not something that I would be very comfortable with if I'm on the blue team. But there's still they can do about it right now. Gavlo loves to play these high agility heroes, and he is doing wonders with Vala currently. They also got level 10. Ultralisk wants to channel and barely misses out on it. Heroic abilities are just not ready yet for the blue team, but they are going to be any second. Aegis, Blessed Shield. They got Kane, goes for his storytelling mode. And we get the Dragon Strike. Alright, zoning time, baby. Dino wants to zone them out here. They got Gorge against Dehaka. Trying to get some kills in against Sven. There's a stun. Death Knight has to move out. Still his Divine Shield is ready. And Hazu with a copy on Samuro. So they're trying to do some damage here. Samuro's channeling. Samuro's channeling, and he doesn't get it. Doesn't get it, but it was close. They paid attention though. So here's the old attempt from Deckard Kane. That's interrupted. Ultralisk is still just trying to buy a little bit of time here. And as I said before, Vala is using these copies to... No way. Get wrecked. Gets the kill on Samuro and uses the copies too to get more stacks. Shots are fired. 32 on both cores. And we have 150 stacks for Vala. I want to remind everybody again that we're only 7 minutes into this game. 7 minutes and she's at 150 stacks. Vala is at 22,000 damage. Hanzo is still a bit higher. Oh, that's a nice one. Yeah, that's nice zoning and good damage, but I'm not sure if it's enough. Divine Shield is out, and they will still have to fall back and give up the pumpkins. You get 1 pumpkin over, but that's not enough. They are struggling a bit. But again, they have level 10 now. Definitely easier to get Abathar into the action at this point. On top of that, we also have at least Samuro getting stronger and stronger as this continues. But yeah, it's definitely a party here. 4 kills to 5. And I love the fact that the Raiders are able to bring them to that point. Bratwurst boys, they are fighting, they are doing what they can, but it's just amazing to see that the Raiders are getting stronger and stronger with every single qualifier. Yeah, and here's where the party starts. This is where it starts to get annoying. Hazops gets the copy, and just look at this. This is Ultralisk and Hazo just starting to murder things. This is going to get so much worse as the game continues and as they're picking up additional talents, specifically when we're heading to level 20. That bell tower is all of a sudden down to 50% HP. And down at the bottom of the map, Mule has done a lot. Ooh, that's big. That's actually big. Can they force this? Just underneath the bell tower. There's already the ult out. Hunter Orc is a bit low. Yeah, Aegis is out. Moves away. Good move so far. But... oh, the pumpkins! Uther! Vala is dead. Vala is dead. The damage is gone. Now they gotta run. She lost her second Gambit stack, and now they gotta run, and they gotta run quickly, because without those arrows, they are just doomed. They have no damage without her. At least very little. So they go for Sven. Here comes Ultralist. They're trying for additional kills. Sven gets wrecked by Dino. Vala getting murdered is always the end of the team fight. And that means that Death Knight picks up the altar. That's 4 more shots fired as Vala comes back. 6 kills to 5 now. And in the middle of the map, with the help of Abathar, once again, Ultralisk is starting to take some towers down. Just crushing this. And there's nobody there. Oh, nice. Good hook. Nice Gorge. Crankle is coming in, has the Blessed Shield still available, so Cure might be in trouble, gets the Divine Shield because they're realizing it too. Hanzo to zone them away. And another hook! They get the stun and damn! Oriel pulls a Houdini, disappears within a second. And talking about things that are disappearing, the hit points on the bell tower in the middle are disappearing very quickly. So yeah, the fight down at the bottom of the map, that might be a huge deal, but they are losing structures while all of this happens. Now the blue team is definitely settling into their rhythm. They're going for a kill, they're trying for Crankle, they get him too, no way. Abathar, just too ridiculous. They won Gavlo, even if they lose a hero here, it's worth it as long as they take Vala down. Yep, that's one armor, one additional Gambit stack removed. These are 200 stacks, but he loses the attack speed. And they took a bell tower, they took the bell tower in the middle. There's another stun, hook stun, the whip misses, and Sven is dead. Holy cow, now they're crushing it. They're absolutely crushing it. Samuro is at the top. Bell tower again has been taken over here. 59,000 damage from Hanzo. Vala's at 41k. She's insane on her stats that she gets on the level 1 talent, but she's died 3 times now. That's 15% of her attack speed bonus gone. If she dies 2 more times, then it is all gone. And now another bell tower is gonna fall. They're retaking the middle, but they're losing the top. So it's still a 5 versus 3 situation. Dino is firing the 3 shots, and they are hoping to get even more done since they have level 16 talents. Gorge, Blessed Shield gets cleansed out, and Deckard Cain gets murdered. Gets popped like a pimple. Just explodes and dies. So now we have 12 kills to 5. They're trying for Oriel, and the momentum train that is running against the red team is ridiculous. Insane. Absolutely insane. 32 against 18 on the core. That's what we're looking at. And Dehaka has been eliminated down at the bottom of the map as well. So yes, they are crushing this hard. What an effort. And again, this is all coming from after Vala has done such an amazing early game. It just wasn't enough. But such a good move. I mean, the initial kill against Deckard Cain with the hook coming in and then the Gorge from Stitches. He gets cleansed as the Blessed Shield is being thrown out. And now they're just trading structures. They're trading structures over and over again. The bottom top bell tower is about to be taken. Samuro is trying to get out. Down at the bottom of the map, they already took another bell tower. They can even apply some pressure in the middle. And this is exactly the problem that I highlighted in the draft when the double pick came in. If you're talking late game Samuro Abathar, it is absolute cancer to go up against that. Because they are everywhere. And they're taking structures down with such ease. It is ridiculous. This game is going to get worse and worse for the Raiders as we are seeing more talents come in. Because one of the big problems that we are going to have for the red team is simply the level 20s. By the way, we now have Manticore, so that's big for Vala as well. The damage is of course going to be boosted even further. Nice ult, trying to zone them away again. Good damage also, but not enough to really threaten Jojo. It's a double ult at the top left, top right. They go for potential damage here against Dehaka, but it's not enough to really do anything. But they still hold 5 to 3 bell towers. There's another hook. Another hook, another stun. They're always ready for it. They're forcing the fight away from them, and Abathar is waddling towards the top. Hazorps is going to channel, and Samuro is going to try it right here. So 2 out of the 3, if they grab them, that's 10 more points gone, and they already escorted some pumpkins in a second ago. They have a chance to put them down to simply like 2 points on the core. 5 shots are fired. I have no idea why Abathar interrupt. Ah, he was afraid of Dehaka. Okay, my bad. They lost sight of Dehaka, so there was always a threat of that happening. So yes, Ultralisk is still guarding this. There's single digits on the core right now for the red team. 15-3, and it is just nuts. Absolutely nuts. Dino! Divine Shield. Divine Shield saves the day for him. Abathar helping out Samura at the top to stop all of this. They're 2 levels ahead by now. And it's just bonkers. 78,000 damage from Hanzo. Vala cannot keep up with this, but they can get a kill against Ultralisk. Yep. The flashlight of Jojo takes him out, and that is a super important altar if they can channel this one. Because if they can't, then we're talking 2 points on the core. And that would be a nightmare. What a hook! And the Gorge is there as well. They go for Deckard Cain, but Stitches is dead alive. He's dead. He's dead. They couldn't get the kill. They can get a few interrupts though. How many more? That's to be seen. 25 seconds for Samuro to be back, but now they're losing ground. Now they're losing momentum. So they're trying to poke this out. They lose the bell tower in the middle. Abathar is trying to prevent it from happening, but that's not a thing. So now it's 4 bell towers to 4. Yeah, the equation is starting to shift a bit. Momentum is everything in on this map. If you're playing on Towers of Doom, it's all about momentum. And the interrupts are coming, and Samuro is back to business, but it's still a 5 versus 4. So they're interrupting further, trying to do their best here. Hanzo's also going to have his ult back out soon, so he can interrupt more. He gets another one. It's Hazu, by the way, with the copy. Doesn't want to tong that. And Stitches is back soon, TM. So there comes another ult, zones them out even further, and at this point they just realize that they're not going to be able to grab it. At least not easily. They're not giving it up just yet, but it's going to be tough. And Abathar has in the meantime ensured that the bot lane is fine. Quest completed. 15 minutes in. Ridiculous. Gavlo with ridiculous stacking. But it might still not be enough for them. And here's level 20. Oh boy, oh boy. Now we got the Hive Mind and we got the 3-blade style. Yeah, good luck. This is going to be a nightmare. They have to also go for boss. They pretty much have to throw a Hail Mary there, because if the Bratwurst boys now take it, then it's going to be over. So they're going for both. Boss gets leashed. No! Boss gets actually leashed. They're still going for the channel. They pin the red team down, and the middle bell tower gets retaken. It's about to be retaken. Dino claims it now with the rest of the team. The channel is happening again. This is ridiculous. That fight never ends. That fight never ends. Over and over again, they're delaying things. There's the old Death Knight is dead, but he has redemption. Death Knight is dead, but redemption is there, and Deckard Cain has died too, and he's not going to come back that quickly. So now it's a 5 versus 4 in favor of the Bratwurst boys. Now it swings again in favor of the blue team. The attacks are coming. There's the hook, and Krankle is trying to get out. Might be in trouble here as they chase Nano. Nano and Oriel dodges out on the hook, is super low though. Hazu has the Hanzo copy. They're chasing Johanna at the same time and want her, but Ultralis is not able to get her. The fight at the top is still breaking out, and Deckard Cain is back in 20. The shots are fired. They're down to 2 points on the core. 2 points! Pumpkins, boss, altar, whatever you're getting, you can make that work. And it seems like they're going for the pumpkins. They have a level 20, and Samuro is back to what he does best. Pissing people off, going for structures, and just like playing the macro game. So yeah, Ultralisk can push the top lane. They got pumpkins at the bottom of the map right now, forcing the Haka down. Nano gets gobbled up, and well, Aegis gets used right away. Gavlo is low, and so is the rest of the team, even with the double support. Even with the double support, they're really struggling there. Crazy stuff now. 20 versus 20, Farflight Quiver for Vala, and they have to go for the boss. They do this because they have to. There is no other option. You need to take this down before the altars spawn. Dehaga gets melted away at the bottom of the map in the meantime. But if you don't remove the boss from the map, shots fired, single point on the core. 1 point on the core. They at least take the boss and remove it as a potential tool for the Bratwurst boys to end the game. But it's 1 to 25. 1 shot to 25 now, and oof. Pumpkins at the bottom of the map, and to make matters worse, it's not only the pumpkins, you also have a double altar. And again, Uther can cheese it. If you start channeling and Uther drops a Divine Shield on you, it's over. Haven't seen that in a while, but they could do it. All they gotta do is start the channel, Uther sits in the bush, drops a Divine Shield, and it's game. So they can try and do exactly that. Already, they got Cure down here. Alright, Uther could sneak in with somebody and they could just cheese it now. Ultralisk already thinking about starting a channel. Blessed Shield missing. They got the gobble on Hunter Hawk. They got Kane. Yeah, interrupt attempt at the top as Ultralisk was trying to aim for it. And bam, goodbye Gavlo. Vala is gone, that's game. Vala gone, there's no damage anymore. Not enough to win this. Not enough to take it. Nano's in trouble. They try for Stitches. It's not happening. There's the kill. 17 kills to 8. And now they can go for a game. What a series. Hot damn. I mean, this winner bracket final was quite something. Game number 1, ridiculous to no extent. And then game number 2, pretty much the same. Big shout out to the Raiders for making this work, but yep, it's game over. The channel has happened, and the Bratwurst boys move on to the grand final of the qualifier.
Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description, and check that out. Thanks in advance, and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.